Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and once again it is time for a full body workout. But a quick reminder, if you guys will please click like down below, I would greatly appreciate it. If you're not subscribed or following, please do so, and drop me a comment just to say hello or give me your thoughts down below. So, kept with what I've been doing as far as the lower body. I really thought about, people in a lot of the lives were saying, no, you could throw this or that in, it would be fine. No guys, I think with the sheer ridiculous amount of fasted cardio I'm doing, and by the way, I'm 210. I was trying to drop it to 209. Like I hit 210.0 on the scale, and I tried to pee to see if I could make it drop, and I did. And I'm like, I bet you it's going to be down several ounces. It was still 210.0. So we're not 209. We're going to call it at 210, but it was on the dot. So we got our whoosh. The thing I've got to keep in mind, I notice at certain angles my thighs are still definitely big. I'm doing huge amounts of fasted cardio. I did over 4 hours yesterday. I'm in a big deficit. Like my legs are only going to recover so much, but my upper body is doing really, really well, right? So I feel like I'm getting stronger a little bit on certain lifts on the upper body. So I feel like I'm really benefiting from the frequency of all of that, right? The frequency of the benching and the dips and stuff. So if anything, that's working really well. I'm happy with that, but it's just the sheer amount of fasted cardio in the deficit. My legs are just not going to recover. And so I think adding more in, saying, hey, let's do some belt squats, let's do some sissy squats, may not be ideal. And I feel like, again, we come back over to those ideals. What have I said about the squat and the deadlift? Like that can handle my legs for now, and I could probably throw calves and stuff in later. But those guys from the era that I'm trying to now work towards replicating that look as I get a lot leaner, and I feel like 190 will have me there. So 210 now, and when you guys see kind of the little bit of poses in a minute, you'll see what I mean. I obviously still have all that fat in the loose skin of the flank area. All that has to tighten up, but you have to go. We lose another 10 pounds, it's probably going to be fairly tight. We lose 20, and I think it's all going to be gone. Like there's just no way it's still going to be there. And I'll end up having a fairly small waist, I think, at that point. So let's just keep working on it. But again, the guys from that era, they squats and stuff is what they did, and it's fine. I feel like I can have all the leg I need with just basically squatting here later. So again, keep in mind, if I've lost a little muscle in the legs with all the cardio, the under recovery, I have muscle memory. You guys have seen me squat 600 pounds before. There's muscle memory. So as soon as we're back at maintenance, we're going to have a large anabolic rebound. Now, because it was really dark, I chose this angle, and I'm aware this is the worst angle. That's the bicep I tore, and then this angle is going to look even worse. But then you guys see from the other angles, it's fine. So bad angle for the deadlift in terms of me looking good, but at least we can see me. So I chose this instead out in the garage because this was really early. The sun is obviously not up till I get later in the workout. So I'm up here before sunup. So again, just did a set to failure with 405. And then you guys will see the lower back a bit here. I took some screenshots of it too from a few different lighting that I'll put up probably tomorrow just for tomorrow's pictures and stuff so we can see where it's at. So all of that went well, but I'm like, the benching, the reps are getting too high. I got 12s, 3 sets of 12 with 225. Keep in mind, this is flat back, no leg drive, wide grip. My pinkies are just outside the ring. So this is the old school style bodybuilding type benching they used to do. I got 10 reps. Now it's not paused, so it's kind of hard to carry some of that over, but this is soft touch and go. Notice there's no bounce. I'm barely grazing the chest. All right, I failed rep 11. All right, now we finally saw me lose some performance. Like I've been replicating performance on this. We finally saw it happen. I got 10, 10, and then I got 8, and I got stapled on the 9th. But that's okay, because we got 12 reps with 225 or 3 sets of 12. So I'll take 10, 10, and 8 with 245. All right, so here we go. We come over. I do a bit of a vacuum first. I've been practicing vacuums in the morning. All right, so there's the side chest. And then I do a little bit of a straight arm, forearm pose. So you guys can see that flank area. So once that tightens up as I lose more fat, again, another 15 pounds, definitely at 20 pounds, I think it'll be gone. So I think we have a good idea of what those poses will look like, especially if I keep hammering vacuums in the morning. We go for that look. So I'm going to build around that. And I did throw some shoulder work in finally. I'm like, I do need to do some shoulders. We don't want to focus on it like the modern era, but we also don't want to completely neglect delts either. Even though I did, people who are kind of like, oh, you need more delt work. It's because I don't pin my delts. That's why we're seeing that with some of the proportion. So that's literally why. I did tons of delt work. Remember, I had a whole shoulder day. I was doing 15 sets of direct shoulder work on shoulder day of delt work every week for months. All right, so there we see a good idea of where the lower back is. It's still tightening up. We still have a ways to go, but I think everyone remembers from the past, we're seeing progress. So I'll take it. I'll take the win. I'll take the small wins. I think it's legitimately going to do pretty good once we get lean, get truly lean, right? And a lot of people are like, they're like, well, you look really lean in a lot of areas. It's like, but because I have loose skin, that's where I disproportionately store the fat in that loose skin. So there's still more fat than people, realizing what my legs and forearms and stuff look like. So again, we have to burn that off. So I really do need to be like 190. I really do need to drop down to 190. But back is looking good. So all right, so for pull-ups, I'd mess with a couple things. I'm like, I want to do pull-ups. I feel like chin-ups are nice, but I don't want to lose all that back. So I'm like, I really feel these wide grip, even though I can't go all the way up. Everyone argues that, and it's just like, I get tired of arguing it. I've shown that I can't do it even with a lat pull down before. I can do it with a close grip, by the way, which I do on the last set. So I wanted to assess them back to back and see just how they feel, right? So I did 2 sets with the wide grip to failure, and then I dropped the weight down because it's a little harder, and I got more reps. So I did the close grip and got my chin over the bar on every rep. When I assessed them, honestly, the really close, the shoulder width, so it's like a really close for me, felt really good today. So I felt just as much back today versus the wide. So it's like, okay, the lats are still working, but I feel more bicep. This almost feels like a bicep exercise, but that's also interesting. Remember when Brett Contreras did all those EMG studies and the pull-ups, even the overhand grip pull-ups, had more bicep activation than some types of curls did, and he's just like, this doesn't make sense. Now granted, it's an EMG, but I feel biceps a lot. Anytime I get all the way over the bar with any of this closer grip stuff, they feel like bicep exercises. They feel like bicep exercises. But it felt good. So I think what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to work with those. I'm going to just mess really, I think, with that close grip. I did it for a couple workouts in a row. I always kind of jump around a little with what I want to do with pull-ups. I like to change them up a lot. Everyone knows that. I love to change my pull-up style all the time. I've done every type of pull-up you can imagine, right? I want to mess with those for a bit. I bet you they're going to help with my biceps while still helping me retain that massive back I have. All right, dips. I'm keeping with what I've been doing. I was like, let's start doing dips from the bottom up. So then I don't have to step up onto a box. I can just walk over to the bar, get up there, and just start from a bottom stretch position. That's the hardest way, but man, does it work that chest. My God. Having to start from that dead stop on that first rep, it lights my chest up. Feels really good. Like, I'm going to be honest with you guys. This is almost my favorite lift right now because my chest and triceps. So what I'm trying to do on more of the reps is to get all the way up and lock them. So normally I'm like that forward lean to work the chest at the bottom requires me to lean forward, but I'm like, let me see if I can tilt the torso up at the top to lock the triceps. And I started doing that last workout more, and I'm not necessarily getting it on every rep, but I'm trying to. Right? I'm trying to get it on every rep. Oh man, and I'm feeling the triceps even more. I've always said I feel even the other type. I feel a massive amount of tricep activation. Right? I'm like, I feel a lot of tricep activation, especially that lateral head. Right? Just from doing the normal ones. But when I push up at the top and I make sure that I lock it, I feel that long head started cramping. It's like, ooh, now we're getting somewhere, right? See where I'm going? Where that long head's cramping, we're in a good place. All right, so I decided to do upright rows. I'm like, I want to do some shoulder work. Here's the thing. I've messed with a really longer range of motion, closer grip. Everyone is always worried about impingement there, but everyone who's anti-upright row, they all agree there's no risk of shoulder impingement if we go wide and we don't try to take it all the way up to the chin. We just go through what feels like your normal natural range of motion. Of course, we can see the skin. After a whoosh like that, notice the skin gets all a little like, the skin's like, what are you doing to me? But then it tightens up a little more, so we're just gonna keep cutting, right? But I think we can see the leanness. I think here, definitely this angle doing the upright rows, looking at the torso, the chest and the shoulders, we can see that body fat is definitely coming off. What's gonna happen when we lose another 10 to 15, right? So upright rows, and these light my shoulders up. I feel my whole shoulder girdle. It's like, look, let's just take them up to whatever we can get up to on the range of motion without feeling any shoulder compromise. Let's go with a nice wide grip just outside the shoulder width. And if I need to, I'll turn these into a high pull. I eventually might even try to, if I can get the shoulder range of motion on point, I might start messing with some cleans. Do all this old school stuff, right? So, and again, keeping with my old school theme, let's do a return to the incline curls. I was doing these a lot. And then I'm like, just for a couple workouts, let's do the barbell. I'm like, man, I really like the incline curls. And they're really an old school bodybuilder movement. So, if we're going to talk about this old school bodybuilding training and the return to basics, it's always going to be, I'm going to mess with the barbell some, which I've been doing. But man, these incline curls, I got a lot of reps on these today. I took them to failure with these only the 28s instead of trying to go up to 33 because I only get about 10 reps, 10 or 11. I got 16 reps on every set. And then I hit failure, like I just stuck them at the bottom. Like I knew on that 16th rep, I'm like, oh my God, this one's hard. And they just stick at the bottom. But I got 16 reps on all 3 sets. They felt really good though. So again, this is, even though it's a little higher rep than I might want to do, let's come over and be honest. I'm someone with lagging biceps, partially due to an old bicep injury. It's been reattached. Doing some high rep incline curls to failure, does it matter that, is this really going to be a bad thing? I think that doing the pull-ups with that longer range of motion works bicep more for me. I feel a lot more bicep. And I think we come in and really hammer stuff like this, but so what if the reps are a little high? I mean, our 16 is not going to build muscle. And again, as someone who has a history of lagging biceps, I think getting higher reps to muscle failure on a full range of motion stretch position movement, I think the rep range is acceptable. I think it's a good thing. If nothing else, let's talk about lagging muscles and just getting better blood flow to them. Because we're also getting some bicep stimulus on those pull-ups, those upright rows. It's a little bit heavier weight. There's some good tension there, especially the brachialis too. So here, let's just get in and just pump the hell out of them and take them to failure. So again, we're progression, because this is more reps than I was getting on these before. So my biceps are stronger. I haven't done these because I thought these were going to be 13, 14 reps or so. I got 16, so it's like, okay, all right. So that's progress. I do probably need to add a little weight though. I might put some extra plates on. Like a 16 this time is okay, but I don't want it to start turning into 20, But it's a good thing. All right, again, you guys can kind of see where we're at with the low back. It's still tightening up. It's still there. I only did one set of pullovers. I'm like, let's just take these all the way as far as they'll go. All right, let's get the long range of motion. Let's really, really, really just do a high rep set, because I did the 30s and I knew I left a little bit in the tank last time, 3 sets of 30. I got 50 plus. I don't know how many it was, 51, 52. I started losing count. I got over 50 reps though when I really took these all the way. I'm like, let's just do it and just keep going and keep going and keep going with this 45. That's some crazy reps, right? And I'm trying to just focus on getting that longer range of motion. So a lot of them I'm pausing. I'm trying to stretch as far. The further I get into the set, though, the more you notice me stretching further back with the abdomen and everything. So here's the idea. I'm just going to hammer these like this. So I felt like today I only needed that 1 set because it was so high with so much fatigue. But my triceps, my chest, my shoulders, everything were just ridiculously pumped from this set. They were on absolute fire. And I think particularly those triceps, after doing all those dips to failure, man, my triceps were really, really kind of lit already. They were crampy. So then when I did this, they just burned. Like I felt at the end of this, when people say like on fire, it's like they feel hot. It almost feels like, someone took a blowtorch to those triceps. They were just burning really bad at the end of this. By rep 40, those triceps were so pumped and so burning that it was painful. But I'm like, let's just keep going, right? And we got over 50 reps, so I'll take it. But I feel like this is a good way to finish it, especially the old school theme. Really happy with it. Really happy with today's workout. Happy with being down to 210. So I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys and gals next time.